Hello guys, so once again, for today's video, I will be discussing the fingerprint classification system, which is specifically the Henry classification that was modified by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Moving on with our discussion on Henry classification, so we have here the major classification. Our major classification involves the two thumbs only, meaning the block 1 and the block 6. So this is placed on the left part of the primary, and it is the second division of the classification line. The following representation shall be used in major classification. So if the fingerprint pattern is an arch, whether that is a plain arch or a tented arch, we are going to use a dash. Now, when the pattern is a whorl, we are going to use the ridge tracing of the whorl pattern. So we are going to place there I for inner whorl, M for the meeting whorl, and O for the outer whorl. For the loop pattern, we are going to use the ridge count, wherein we are going to use this table to represent the major classification. So under the table A, this table A is always used for the denominator, meaning it is used first in the block 6. So if the ridge count is 1 to 11, we are going to represent it with letter S. If the ridge count is 12 to 16, we are going to represent it with letter M. And if the ridge count is 17 and above, we are going to use letter L. Take note that these letters should be capitalized. Now, we are going to use letter B only if both patterns are looped, wherein it is used only for numerator only if the denominator is L. So, if the ridge count of the numerator is 1 to 17 ridge count, we are going to use letter S, and if the ridge count is 18 to 22, we are going to represent it with the capital letter M. And lastly, if the ridge count is 23 and above, we are going to use capital letter L. Again, take note, table B is only used for numerator only if the denominator is L. So, for example, we have here, again, under major classification, it only involves our two thumb. So, again, first step is we must determine first the major classification on the denominator. So we have here a whorl pattern. So if this is again a whorl pattern, we are going to represent it with the ridge tracing. So in here, we are going to place here, or we will simply copy since it is already given. We are going to place here letter I, which stands for inner. Since we have already identified our denominator, let us now proceed with our numerator. So our numerator is the block 1. So this is a loop pattern, therefore we are going to use this table. Now, since our denominator is a whorl pattern, automatically we are going to use table A in the numerator. So since we have here 4 ridge count, our numerator will be S. So this is now our major classification in this particular example. We have here another example. So for instance, this is taken or from the right thumb, and the other fingerprint pattern is from the left thumb. And for instance, this is the ridge count of the 2 fingerprint patterns. So of course, again, we will first determine our denominator, and our denominator is from the left thumb. Okay. Now, we have here, we need to use the table. And for this example, we are going to use table A. So, since we are going to use table A, we have here 16. And 16 is, we have here capital letter M. Next is our numerator, which is taken from the right thumb, or our fingerprint block 1. And we have here 17 ridge count. So again, we are going to use table A since our denominator is letter M. Now our numerator is letter L. For instance, this pattern is our right thumb, and this fingerprint pattern is from the left thumb, and we have here the ridge count. We are going to use again the table since this is a loop pattern, both loop patterns. So of course, we are going to use table A for the denominator. Remember again, we will proceed first with the denominator before we proceed with the numerator. So here we have 17 ridge count. So since 17 ridge count, this is capital letter L. So this is our denominator. Next is we are now going to determine our numerator. This is the time that we are going to apply table B since our denominator is capital letter L. So our numerator now will be letter S since our ridge count is 16 in the right thumb or in our numerator. Okay, so this is now our last example under the major classification. So we have here an example. Again, major classification only involves our 2 thumbs, our black 1 and our black 6. So again, we will start with our denominator. So since this is a plain arch, our representation will be a dash. And then let's proceed now with our numerator. Since this is a loop pattern, we are going to use the table for the numerator, and we are going to use the ridge count. So we have here 13, and under the table, 13 is equivalent to capital letter M. So that is our last example. And again, our major classification is placed on the left part of the primary classification. That's it for this video. So thank you again guys for watching, and I hope you will like, comment, and share this video. And please don't forget to subscribe our channel for more videos to come. Hoping again guys that you will watch the videos on the following topics. Thank you once again.